Hey Swarmers, welcome back to the Hive. Thanks for dropping by. Today we're diving into a topic that can sometimes get a little confusing: compostable versus biodegradable items. They sound similar, but there are big differences. And if you're looking to make more eco-friendly choices, understanding those differences is important. Let's kick things off by defining what we mean by compostable and biodegradable. The two terms are often used interchangeably, but this isn't correct. They do have key differences. Compostable items are materials that break down into organic material under specific conditions, and they produce nutrients that can benefit the soil. These conditions that they need are usually found in commercial composting facilities or well-maintained home compost piles. To compost properly, items need warmth, moisture, oxygen, and the presence of microorganisms like bacteria or fungi. Composting of a compostable item is usually quick and completed within a few months, leaving behind no toxic residue. So compostable items can actually benefit the earth when they break down. Now, biodegradable, on the other hand, is a bit different. This term refers to a material being degraded by biological activity, but there's no indication to how long that might take, under what conditions, or specifying what the final product will be. Because most biodegradable items can actually take years to decompose, and sometimes even then they don't break down completely. In that case, they can leave behind microplastics and other residues. That's why just because something is labelled biodegradable doesn't necessarily mean it's an environmentally sound choice, and it certainly doesn't mean it's appropriate for your home compost pile. Let's talk about some of the materials you might find in compostable products. Many compostable items are made from organic materials such as cornstarch, potato starch, sugarcane, or bamboo. You've likely seen this term and these materials named on compostable cutlery or plates. These materials might be processed into something that behaves similarly to plastic. We'll get into the rabbit hole of bioplastics shortly. They break down much more easily in composting conditions. These kinds of compostable materials are great because they return nutrients back to the soil, creating a cycle of renewal. One last thing to note here: if you're looking at something labelled compostable, check to see if that is specifically okay for home composting. To break down efficiently, the items need key elements we mentioned: heat, moisture, and oxygen. In an industrial facility, temperatures can reach over 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius, which speeds up the breakdown process. But in landfills, there's very little oxygen and often no consistent moisture or heat, which slows decomposition. And in your home composting system, although there'd be moisture and oxygen, the temperature wouldn't reach the required level. This is why it's essential to dispose of compostable items correctly. Compostable items thrown in the trash may take just as long as traditional plastics to break down because they lack the conditions required to decompose properly. So let's compare that to biodegradable products. Unlike compostable, biodegradable products can be made from a wider range of materials. They might include natural elements like wood or paper, but they can also be made from certain types of plastics, which may break down over a long period of time, but also may leave residue behind. For example, certain bags or packaging labelled biodegradable might break down over months or years, but they are unlikely to ever fully decompose. The remnants of these biodegradable plastics will linger in the environment, which obviously isn't great for the ecosystem. There's been plenty of researchers also working to validate how compostable or biodegradable these bioplastics are, and the answer currently is not very. One study in the UK put biodegradable plastic bags to the test in several harsh situations: underwater in a marina, buried in soil, exposed to light and air, or simply stashed in a lab. The only bag which decomposed fully were compostable ones submerged in the marina, which completely broke down in just 3 months. The others could still hold groceries after 3 full years in salt water. Even the compostable bag, after being buried for 27 months, was only partially decomposed, which really proves the point about the factors required in a compost situation to actually enable composting. So all of this leads us to the world of bioplastics. These are a type of plastic that's made from natural sources like cornstarch, sugarcane, or even algae. They may be compostable, biodegradable, or neither. Just like traditional plastics made from petroleum, there are different types of bioplastics. For a few examples, there are starch-based, cellulose-based, or protein-based. Then there's a family of aliphatic biopolymers like PLA, PHA, PHB, PA11, PA12. Then there's bio-derived polyethylene or polyhydroxide ethylenes. Then there are lipid biopolymers. And don't forget drop-in bioplastics, which are chemically identical to their petroleum counterparts. Bioplastics like BHB and BHA are created by specialized microbes, while PLA is synthesized from lactic acid monomers, obtained through the microbial fermentation of sugars and starches from plants. Although they're being pitched as our saving grace, this isn't quite accurate. Life cycle analysis research shows that some bioplastics can have a smaller carbon footprint than traditional plastics, especially when renewable biomass is used both as the raw material and as the energy source during production. However, not all bioplastics have the same environmental benefits. Some production processes are less efficient and can result in a larger carbon footprint than that of petroleum-based plastics. Some are compostable and can break down in an industrial facility, like PLA, like often used in coffee cup lids and utensils, but others are only partially biodegradable, meaning they break down a little bit and then leave microplastics behind. As you can see, this is quite a complex space, and it's undergoing loads of investment into research and development. Because there are things we genuinely need plastic replacements for, like food wrapping to keep it fresh and stable as it travels from farm to consumer. But other things, like disposable party plates and cutlery, well, we can honestly do without, regardless of which form of bioplastic they come from. So to sum up, compostable items are designed to break down in specific conditions and they benefit the soil, while biodegradable items break down naturally but may leave behind residues. Bioplastics are trying to offer an eco-friendly alternative but require careful disposal, as some don't fully decompose and still leach chemicals and microplastics into the environment. By choosing the right products and knowing how to dispose of them, you can help reduce waste and make a positive impact on the environment. Thanks for joining us, Swrmers. We hope that this has helped clear up some commonly held misconceptions, enabling you to make more environmentally responsible decisions. Here's a hot tip though. Single-use anything is really not the answer. Let us know in the comments what you think and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay sustainable.